Hi, my name is Vani Kamra, and today I'm excited to be joined by someone whose work speaks volumes in the legal community, Anna Shapiro, the managing attorney and CEO of Shapiro Law Group. Shapiro Law brings a comprehensive approach to legal services with a deep commitment to clients across family law, business law, immigration, and more. But today we're not talking about law, we're talking about transformation. Specifically, how Anna and her team approached the challenge of modernizing their document management, what led them to rethink their systems, and what the journey looked like from legacy tools to a more integrated approach. It's a story of change, leadership, and adaptation in a digital first world, and I can't wait to dive in. So, my first question to you is every firm hits that moment where the old way isn't just cutting it anymore. So, what kinds of day to day inefficiencies or frustrations started piling up for your team, especially for document management using NetDocs?
I think most importantly, we could not get in touch with anyone if we had a question or an issue. Like the customer service was not
Right.
an issue for us. It always has been. So that's number one. Number two, their systems worked. We've had outages every so often. So that was also kind of annoying. But I think I mean again, their system is fine, it works. And then I think, customer service outages and I think third and most importantly, the cost. I mean, it just went up like tremendous and it just like became unaffordable.
Yeah. So you talked about customer service and you talked about pricing. So when you decided that like something had to change, what kind of document experiments were you envisioning for your team for the next one? Like was it about speed, control access, or something else? I know you named two things, but what were you envisioning in the new one?
I will tell you, my dream has always been since I've started to use Logics is to have everything integrated.
Mhm.
While that documents was integrated, it was really never integrated like fully to the way I would have seen it. So we would always have to open a separate page for NetDocs and just kind of go in there because it works faster that way because the integration was always like a slower situation. And I think the new system that we're using now is just part of Salesforce Logic. So there's like no difference between like taking a note or looking at a document or doing something else. Um, Also, a lot more customizable, like client portal. It looks a lot better than the one we had. Those are like the kind of things. I mean, was I thinking about changing it? Maybe, but when you kind of get used to it and you're just like, okay, I guess I'm doing it, and I'm gonna look into options. I didn't even like I had that thought, but I didn't really even have a chance to look into it. And I was talking to Richa, who mentioned that you guys are thinking of like doing the document management system. And then, considering my experience with law accounting, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it with you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it takes because I know that customer service is tremendous. Me, that's like number one priority. And even if something like I just had a question, for example, this week, something on law accounting. Once in a great while, there's like a question, something like is not clicking or something like that. I got a response in 2 minutes.
Right.
So that's what I need. Like, because we practice law. And by the way, our firm is a little different now. We do mostly employment law. We don't do a lot of family law. We don't do immigration at all. But we do other areas, obviously. But in general, like when we practice law, like we need everything at our fingertips and we need it to be working well. And for us to be able to access that, and if there's like a question or an update, like we're always able to get that. And I
Yeah.
also think like the new system, the way I liked it, I mean, I know we were like the pioneers, but I really liked it because I think that we are able to customize it to the way I think works well, not just for us, but any law firm would love it.
Right. So sounds like it's working for you.
It is.
Can you share what that transition felt like for you? Because I know switching platforms seems very difficult, and especially like making it customizable for somebody. So can you share what that transition felt like for you and your staff, and what surprised you, and how did you approach the learning curve?
So I think we made, it's only been like we started using it April 1. It's only been a little over a month. We talked, I think Rich and I were, and Vikram too was part of it. We talked about it, I think like March maybe. And we kind of like, approached it in the first 2 weeks of March. And then the way that the transition was handled was very well. It was handled the same way that we did the law accounting, even better. We kind of knew how this works. So we even up until now, we usually have a call like a Zoom every day to make sure things are working. We also we had to back up all of our documents because we had, almost 9, 10 years worth of documents. And so the team was really, really trying to help, but then they were very honest about the fact that like there was so much data, they were afraid that if we don't back it up with specifically with net documents, we would lose them. So I contacting net documents for like a month was like a nightmare. They wouldn't give us anything. They tried to tell us that like you need to use these tools. They would send us like this manual, but then Richard would come back and be like, we don't know what this means. I have no idea what's going on. So they tried every single possible way. Finally, we got an email that says you should go to a partner. And partner is someone, I guess, net documents like the way they provide support, you'd have to hire a consulting partner. And we worked with them. They didn't give me a partner name. I dig through my email for years ago and I found this lady's name who helped us because when we went to NetDocuments mail, like an email to save the emails, I found her. So I emailed her, thank God. She responded. She's like, of course, I remember you. I'll help you. But it cost us like thousands of dollars to do it because it wasn't, and then NetDocuments was refusing to provide the tools that the partner actually got from them.
Right.
But the point I was trying to make is that like the team that I'm working with now, like they were very honest. And Rachel literally came on the call one day and she was like, you need to do this because I want to make sure everything is done, everything is backed up. So they're very easy to work with. The transition itself, like when they say things are gonna get done, they actually get done.
Mm.
We're able to shut everyone off, and as of April 1, we started using it. There were like a few quirks here and there, but I think it was very fast. I think they build the system pretty fast. We're still having calls like a couple of times a week just to make sure, and then they're asking us, "Do you want to upgrade this? How about this?" So I think the transition is very smooth. There's no question.
I actually wanted to ask you, we talked about like the tools for like tech transitions, but I also wanted to ask you, so how did your team respond to the change? Like what made adoption easier or harder?
We are small. We really like we first it was me and my daughter were both partners, so we started using the system just to like try it out for a couple of days. The team was fine with it because I think the system is very easy and very friendly to use. If there's any questions, like we're always able to email and like I felt that this transition was even easier than the last time we did it. We started with you guys, I think it was November of 23 when we did the lock.
Right.
And that was like kind of a nightmare in general because we used to use accounting seat and they were crazy too. Net documents was not helpful. Richard kept asking me, can they help you transition? I'm like, no, they're not doing anything. So we just had to have your team like kind of carry us through the process and it works very well. My team members are easy. I mean, they responded. We trained them. It didn't take long to show them things. There's still, like I said, a few things that we're improving, but that's only because we wanted better than what we
Yeah.
had.
Right, right, right.
But it was easy. It wasn't like a big deal. I don't think, nobody took it like, oh my God, we can't use the system. It's too much. It was
Yeah.
that.
So I know you already touched upon this. You talked about like customer service and it feeling very integrated, but just like how does like your document management feel different? Like any small moments where you thought like, okay, this is really working for us now.
Yeah, I think that every day. I mean, it's funny how I even went to the point where I told the team to just remove that documents from everywhere. We like removed all the references and everything. They gave us until April 15th to shut off, but like thank God we had that time because we finally ended up doing the backup. So I have backup of everything, but we weren't using the system as of the beginning of April. And I think now it's just second nature. It's easy to use.
Right.
Ask, what do you want the tabs? Do you want it right here? Do you want it there? How do you want this? Like the versions are really easy to preview. Like we have like external links, internal links, and we're also again we're saving a lot of money. That's number one. But number two, I kind of got rid of like the client space, which we had to do with net documents because there was no other way to share documents because we have links now. So
Right.
clients kind of like that because a lot of clients don't know how to use it anyway. So it kind of like saved the cost and it's easier for everybody. I think.
Right. Right. More efficiency there.
Exactly.
So my last question to you is if another law firm leader is sitting where you were a few months ago, weighing whether to make a change or not, what's one piece of advice you'd give them?
Go with Cloud Mentor. Don't even think about it. That's my advice, really, because I've had a lot of good experiences.
Right.
I think now we're doing some kind of next step about, the credit cards or whatever. Rich and I are gonna have a conversation. And I don't know. I'm a type of person like, look, I'll give you everything. Like I work really well with people and I'm very easygoing and I'm very patient. There comes a time where like that doesn't work because the other side doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like they care. And if anything, I ask for, if it's, and they're honest, they'll tell you, like, hey, is this possible? Is this not possible? But everything is very easy flowing. Everything is,
Right.
I'm still in love with law accounting. It's very visual, like all of the stuff is really good. Customer service, again, the number one for me. So I think that you, if anybody wanted to do this, I would definitely say do it because you'll get all the support that you need. And like, it's amazing. Life just becomes a lot easier. And then you have to deal with any other vendor. So,
Mhm.
and then the other thing too is like once you, like we have the law accounting licenses, which I
Mhm.
didn't even realize it saved me so much on costs because it's one license. Whoever Cloud Mentor just provide licenses. So now we already had 3 people on it for the accounting purposes, but those 3 people are also allowed to use the document management. So we're not double paying. So
Right.
once you go with the program, you're good.
Right.
It's good, it's efficient, it's great pricing and amazing customer support. So I say do it for sure.
That sounds very good. Yeah, that was it. So thank you for sharing such an honest and insightful look at your firm's journey. And it's clear that change isn't just about adopting new tools, it's about making bold decisions to work smarter and serve better.
Exactly.
So for anyone listening who's thinking about modernizing the way their firm handles documents, I hope this conversation gave you not just perspective, but a bit of inspiration. So thank you for joining us today, Anna.
You're welcome. My pleasure, of course, as always.